Yes, it is in fact that good. Welcome back to J. Penny Reviews, where the only correct opinion is of course my own. Sinners has been out for over a week now, and over that week I've heard a lot of interesting things, to say the least. This was a movie that I didn't even know existed, and out of nowhere, all I'm hearing is that this is the best movie of the year, this movie is excellent, finally a great original movie, and this is the movie of the year. Then I watched a couple of reviews that said that this movie was an experience, and that this movie is a movie that you will be happy that you went to the theater to go and see. Now, usually, the only movies I'm truly happy to get to see in the theater are the big event movies. Your Avengers Endgame, Your No Way Home, The Force Awakens, the Minecraft movie. These are movies that you get a truly unique experience seeing in the theater that you really can't get anywhere else. All that to say, I was beyond curious to see what all the fuss was about. I knew absolutely nothing about this movie except for the fact that it starred Michael B. Jordan. There were vampires and music as a strong focal point of the movie, and I was pretty sure that Haley Steinfeld was in the movie. That's all I knew going into this. So, is Sinners as good as everyone's saying it is?
Yes and no, but mostly yes.
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It was directed very well. All the actors are off the charts with how great their performances are, and this is just all around a great movie. And it's small, but it helps that this movie is completely original, so there's no source material to read up on or watch going into this movie. You go in completely blind and don't know where the story is going to go. Michael B. Jordan is acting his ass off in this movie. I did not know that he was going to be playing two different characters, and you can't really tell how they did it. If I had no clue who this guy was, I would have just assumed that they cast twins in the role that he played. And Miles Catton does an insane job in this movie. I cannot believe that this is his first movie. All the actors do an incredible job, but him and Michael B. Jordan are the standouts. But all the characters were great. Not a single one bothered me. Delroy Lindo, who played Delta Slim, was hilarious, and he was my personal favorite character in the movie. And this movie absolutely transforms into something else by the halfway point. It is pretty dry as far as horror goes in the first part, and then it starts to pick up by the halfway point, and then by the end, it's all in. And I know I keep saying horror, but this didn't feel like a horror movie to me, and I say that in the best way possible. It had a lot of horror element, but I never got that same feeling that I do watching other slasher or monster movies. And I mean this as a huge compliment. I feel like it's because a lot of horror movies take the cheap shots and just try and scare you and gross you out. They won't often develop characters or villains or create much of a plot. This movie does the legwork, and it took the time to do all of that and then some, and the effort really shows. And the horror in this movie is used very effectively. There are only a handful of jump scares, and they almost all got me. They're spread few and far between, and they're during the slow portions of the movie, so you're not really expecting them, so they're done very nicely. And the vampires were utilized very well, and we do get to see plenty of them. Guys, from here on out, there will be spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen the movie, spoiler warning, pause the video and go watch it and then come back. Now, the vampires are a lot of fun. I really like that you don't see them kill anyone at first. It always cuts away before someone dies. And I also love that none of the characters in this movie are stupid. Every character is smart and likable. When Mary goes out to check on the people that are trying to get into the club, she brings a gun. When she gets uncomfortable and they start to scare her, she pulls out the gun, holds it at them until she gets at a safe distance, and she doesn't put the gun away until she's far enough away. And if they weren't vampires who could fly, then she would have been fine. Then when the group discovers that there are in fact vampires out and about, they don't let anyone in, even the people that they know, and they find a way to proof check that no one inside is a vampire. It reminded me a lot of the scene in John Carpenter's The Thing, where they put copper in the blood to see who the alien is. And I really liked how fun the vampires were. When they weren't actively attacking the main characters, they were outside having a blast and dancing and taunting the people inside. And it was a lot of fun to watch. I liked the small detail that they had to be invited inside. I'm going to be completely honest, I might have missed something. I couldn't tell if this was for like a supernatural reason or if it was like a personal, like they didn't want to do it before being invited in for some reason. But I liked it all the same. I thought the choice worked well enough for the movie. And the highlight of the movie was the oneer during the music scene. It goes around the room as the main character is singing, and the music gradually transforms into rock. And you see past music styles as well as future music styles that caps off with the vampires being drawn to the music. It was a wonderfully done scene. I do have a few minor critiques that do take a bit away from the movie for me. I'm not crazy about how this movie opened. I thought it was effective at first, but after all the main characters are established, I immediately understood who was going to live and who was going to die. And for the most part, I was right. Like, you know, the main characters are going to die. And it killed some of the suspense for me at parts of the movie. The movie did a great job at bringing me back in, but I would have preferred if we skipped the original opening. I don't know, maybe I missed something, but I feel like the movie would have benefited if you just start by showing the main character going about his daily life instead of jumping to the very end of the movie. While I liked that the vampires had to be granted permission to enter, they did get a little inconsistent with it for a moment. There was a point in the movie where a vampire is locked in a room and he's trying to trick everyone into letting him out. I thought he was going to convince the person he was close with to let him out since they previously thought he died, and he was pretty distraught over this. But once they go silent, he just breaks the door open with ease. I don't know if it was because he was technically inside the building overall, or the vampires want permission but don't need it. But I again think the movie would have worked better overall if he just managed to trick them into letting him out, and they managed to get him outside and then he's stuck outside. Because they did establish that he was very close with someone, and like he was in shock and actively grieving, so they could have just had him immediately open the door. I like that the characters were smart about it, but then that forced the director to break the rule he established. My final critique is the shootout at the end. I get why it happened, but I wish they scaled it down a little bit. We wrapped up the main conflict, and this was only set up in passing dialogue. I like that this confirms that the vampire was being truthful about the owners being complete shitbags who were just going to steal the land he sold back the next day. But I wish they didn't go as bombastic with it as they did. This wasn't what I felt like the movie was building to. I would have personally made Michael B. Jordan's character get injured during the vampire raid. He's bleeding out, and when the owner returns with 3 or maybe 4 other guys, he just kills them all quickly, and then we have that great scene where he passes on. These small things don't ruin the movie for me, and one of them you could call a nitpick. But this movie's weakest parts for me are its opening and one of its last scenes, so starting and capping off with the weaker parts hinder my enjoyment a little bit. But it does not ruin the overall movie for me at all. There's a lot more I can say about this movie, but I really think you should go and watch it for yourself. This is absolutely the best movie of 2025 so far, and I am very happy it is getting the recognition it deserves. Overall, I have to give Sinners a 9 out of 10. Go watch it. This is just a little side note, but I just heard as of recording this that Sinners has only dropped 5% in domestic box office for its second weekend. That is fucking insane. This movie, in its second weekend, kicked Star Wars and Minecraft's asses at the box office. I am so happy that an original film is getting the recognition it deserves. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you hated it, comment down below what I can do better. If you disagreed on my take of Sinners, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the movie in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.